Hey guys, Coach Becky here. Welcome to my legs and core session. All you need today is a mat and a med ball. You can get creative with a dumbbell or kettlebell if you don't have a med ball. As always, I'll do the whole workout with you. Let's get started. We're going to begin with a few mobility exercises. A split leg reach. Here's level 1. My right foot's in front. My feet are shoulder width apart, and I'm hinging at my hips as I soften my knees and reach towards the ground. Level 2, I'll do all of that same exact stuff, but I'm going to raise the back leg. So still a hinge in the hip and still a soft knee. Now's a great time to think about your breathing patterns as you want to inhale here, exhale here. Keep following along with me. We've got a few more reps to go. Since we're working on muscular strength and endurance, our repetitions will be between 8 and 12 today. Looking really strong here. Almost there. Swing the leg through, and now we're just going to balance on the right leg and go into some calf raises. What we want to do here is extend at the ankle as much as possible while engaging our diaphragm. Think about keeping your trunk tight as you continue to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. This is one of my favorite mobility and stability sequences to begin with. Here, I'm going to turn to the side for you and show you tree pose. We're going to hold this for a few deep breaths. I like to keep my hands right there on my trunk so I can feel my lungs expand and my core contract. I feel like this helps me keep a nice rigid base with allowing some fluid movement as I breathe. You're looking strong and resilient today. Awesome work. Take a few more deep breaths. Awesome work. We're going to do the same sequence on the other side. Here's level 1. Hinge at the hips, soften the knees, and reach towards the floor. I don't care if you can't reach all the way to the ground if you're feeling tight or unstable. I really care about the mechanics in terms of the soft knee and the hinging at the hip. Ideally, you keep a nice flat back, or maybe you could think of having a rigid spine here. But really, we just want to open up the hamstrings, get some balance training in, and start with some dynamic movement. So don't worry and don't stress about all the details today. I'll talk you through everything. We're almost through these single leg reaches. We're only doing the sequence one time. Some movements today you'll get to repeat, especially some of the ones I feel are the most essential in building strength. Keep working on that balance. Pull that leg through, and let's head into the next balance exercise, single leg calf raises. Think about getting up as much as you can. We're really strengthening the big toe, which is really important for any ball sport athlete or someone that runs frequently or walks or hikes. Really important here to build the integrity of the arch and the big toe. All right, done with calf raises. Next is tree pose. So place that instep on the thigh and breathe. Just focus on balance. Close your eyes if you'd like an extra challenge. And breathe in through the nose. Focus on great posture. Exhale through the mouth. Great work. Smooth and strong here. Awesome. Spread the feet apart now outside the shoulders. We're going to do a 1, 2, 3, stand up, hamstring reach. Again with me. Reach 1, 2, 3, stand up. Your turn. Reach deeper, reach the deepest, stand up. I'm going to show you from the side here. Reach 1, 2, 3. Stand up. Stretch, better stretch, your best stretch, squeeze your glutes. This one works as a nice hamstring and low back stretch, as well as a glute activator. Don't worry about reaching to a certain depth. This should just feel really good. Great job. Head to the floor and spread your feet apart, just like me. So we don't want to crowd the heels close to the hips. We want to keep those feet away from us. Place the hands behind you, shoulders back. If you want to reach the arms up, that's going to be a harder option later on. And we're just gonna roll, keeping the heels rooted on the ground. Rotate here. Stretch out the hips. This should feel oh so good. Don't worry if you can't get all the rotation in, just get as much movement as possible. If you feel like a harder challenge, keep the arms up while doing this movement. Your butt might scooch around a little bit, so it's okay to reset, slide the heels back out if you need to. You do want to be successful in your movements today. There should be no pain and no forcing a movement that you're not quite ready for, so keep that in mind. Rotate again, good job. Way to work through these crunchy spots in the hips. Way to go. All right, up next, we're gonna move into kind of the main set today. So we're gonna grab the ball and place it between our knees, seated on the ground. We're gonna do what's called a glute bridge med ball raise. So squeeze the ball between your knees and press your hips up. I'm gonna push you here on this one. We're gonna do 20. That was number 4. Here's number 5. So press the hips up as you exhale and keep that smooth tempo. Drive the hips, keep the heels and arches flat. A good one to work on your breathing. Nice job. You're about halfway. Let's really focus on that hip extension here, squeezing the glutes, hamstrings, and core. This exercise is one of my favorites because it lengthens those hip flexors, which are chronically tight in endurance athletes and those that sit all day. All right, rest. Great job getting to 20 there. Seated twist now, so you're just gonna keep your feet flat and rotate, working your obliques. It's really important to incorporate rotation movements in your everyday training, so jump right into this one with me. We're doing 10 per side, so you're probably just over halfway here. Just maximize the rotation here. Turn those shoulders. Awesome work. Almost there. Well done. We're going right back to those glute bridges. I know I'm moving quick here, but that's part of our session today. Limited rest time, more focus on endurance and strength. So here we go. There's 1 and 2. Press the hips up. Big exhale. Last set of these. You know what to do now, so just be confident in your movement, squeezing the glutes, crushing the walnut as if there's a walnut between those glutes. Crush it every time you press those hips up. Such a great exercise, and honestly, if there's one exercise you could do every day, I would choose the glute bridge for you. I am going to show you a few variations of this movement at the end of our session, so I definitely put a lot of worth in this movement pattern here. We're almost there. Great work. Grab the ball right into seated twists. Here we go. Turn the shoulders. Touch and touch. There's 2 and 2, 3, 3. We're doing 10 per side here, so get right after it. Keep that breathing pattern, nose, mouth. That's going to help with the posture and keeping those shoulders back. Maximize the rotation. Good work. Go ahead and stand up. That was an awesome job doing 20 there. I know it was moving quick. Next up, side lunge. So we're gonna hold the ball at our chest, step out, lean the outside leg, step back together, press at the top. Again, step out, toes ahead, step together, overhead press. Now keep an eye on my inside leg. That one's staying straight. I'm really stepping out, squatting to the outside, stretching the inside, pressing up. Nice job training the lateral plane of movement here, which is important because we don't get that often in cycling and running, but we do it a lot in our everyday life. In fact, most people get hurt rotating or reaching to the side or doing both at one time simply because they don't train it enough. So here you go. Looking strong. Side lunge, step, and press. Great job doing this compound movement. So get the heart rate up since we're working legs and arms together. Well done. Switching sides here. Again, slow on the first rep. So you're going to step out, toes straight ahead, lean to the outside leg, stretching the inside leg, step together, exhale, overhead press. Here we go. Step and lunge, step together, overhead press. I like doing compound movements even though we're focusing on the legs. I think it's important to incorporate the arms and the core because there's not a day that goes by where you only work your legs. You know, we need to keep in mind that we could focus on one area, but really incorporating your core and your upper body is really essential to a great workout. So we're gonna keep that in mind today. Reminder to stretch that inside leg, keep it straight, keep the toes pointed ahead as much as you can. You're doing so nice. Keep it up. Heart rate's gonna lift a little bit here since you're doing such a dynamic movement. I love that. Well done. Now we're gonna do our first and only set of half kneeling chops. So you're kneeling, start with the ball over your shoulder, and chop down towards your hip pocket. Again, focusing on rotation. We're only doing one set per side, so make it pretty. Reach it overhead. You're reaching the ball overhead on the same leg that's in front of you. If that was moving too fast for you, hit pause here and just do 10 per side. Nice job. We're going to switch sides here. So lift the opposing knee. Start with the ball right over that shoulder, that same shoulder that the knee is out, and chop. Nice smooth movements here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale, drive. Putting a lot of focus on rotation today. There's a lot of rotational movements worked in. Great for your core and your obliques. Really functional. Keep it up. Awesome job. Rest here. Next, we're going to do our first set, not our last set, of narrow squats. So feet together and stretch the hips back as far as you can with the ball at your chest. Keep the ball at your chest to remind you to keep that chest open and tall as you squat. We're not necessarily super concerned with depth right now. We're just throwing some variations in the squat at you today. Working some different muscles just by changing our feet position. It's so great. All right, next type of squat is an offset squat. So after narrow squats, we're gonna step the feet apart, put most of our weight on the front leg. See how I'm just on my tiptoes on that back leg. And I'm doing squats with 90% of my weight on my right foot now. You might think this looks a little bit like maybe a runner's start or a run-specific movement, and you'd be correct. It is pretty sport-specific here. It's also just great to work on balance and to challenge the muscles in a different way. Awesome job. Switch legs here. So shoulder width apart. There you go. There's the view of that shoulder width stance. That right heel is elevated. And my feet are about maybe a foot apart here. Nice tall chest. And here we go. I've got 90% of my weight on my left foot, about 10% on my back right toes. Here we're really training balance and quads and glutes. Looking super strong here. Proud of you for giving these your best effort. Keep it up. Well done. All right, let's go ahead and place the ball down. We're going to use it as a target here next. So what we're going to do is work our hip mobility by using the ball as a target. So we're just going to step over the ball and back. Now I'm starting with my eyes open, but here in a second I'm going to give my eyes a close. So I have to rely on feeling my muscles and my just awareness of my body to keep me from losing my balance. It's called proprioception. So not only are we training mobility, we're also training your just awareness of your body. All right, that's all we're doing. So open those eyes back up, and now we've got lateral touches. It's more about quality versus quantity here. So do a couple with the eyes open, then shut your eyes and force your muscles to do a little bit more work for you. You know, dig those toes into the ground and use your breath to keep you upright. Keep going on those eyes closed lateral touches over a target. Great job. Rest and switch legs. So hip openers now on the other side. Eyes open for the first few, and then try it with your eyes shut if you're feeling bold. We're not doing a ton, so if you lose your balance, just press pause, reset, and try to do about 10 touches with the eyes open and then with the eyes closed. There you go. You're getting the hang of it. We're almost through these. Great job. All right, time for lateral touches now. So get set up behind the ball, touch over and back. Then challenge yourself with your eyes closed. I like to keep my hands on my hips again so I can feel my rigid core helping me maintain my balance. You can do it. Awesome work. All right, grab the ball again. And it's time for set 2 of side lunge to overhead press. You know what to do, so I'm just gonna let you work hard here and I'll let you know when to switch sides. You're looking strong, and it's time to switch sides. Here we go. We're gonna do side lunges on the other side. And step out, tall chest, step together. Let's work hard here and get the heart rate up. Do your thing. This will be our last rep here. Well done. All right, next up, we're gonna do another split stance to movement, but instead of split squats, we're gonna do a split hinge to bicep curl. So take the same stance you did for that split squat earlier, that offset squat, but this time you're gonna hinge the ball, just like what we did at the beginning of the workout. So hinge at the hips, soften the knees, curl the ball at the top. Again, 90% of the weight on that front foot. Working at a good clip here. We're totally fine to work the heart rate up a little bit just by working legs and then arms. Hinge and curl. Just up on those back toes there in the back. Feet are shoulder width apart, spaced about 6 inches from the heel to the toe. Great job. We're gonna switch sides here. Hinge at the hips, soft knees, weight on the front foot, reach the ball to the ground, and curl. Extra focus on keeping those shoulders back. Nice stiff line from the shoulders to the hips. There you go. Now, if adding that bicep curl in is too much for you, if I'm going at a pace that feels uncomfortable to you, you're fine just to do those split hinges that I was showing at the beginning of the set without the bicep curl. You can always bring an exercise down, that's fine. Doing a few more reps here of the split hinge to curl. We are only doing one set, you guys, so really try to find those hamstrings here. If it feels like you didn't quite get this movement, you may press pause here before we move on. Well done. Repeat that set there if you felt like you need another round of practice. Narrow squats, you guys know what to do here. We're doing the same exact squats that we did earlier, feet together, chest tall by holding the ball, stretching those hamstrings as you sit, folding into those hip flexors, really feeling your body parts work for you here in the narrow squat. Give me a few more reps. Here's a side view so you can see my posture. Well done. All right, up next we're gonna do a set of wide squats. So now we're gonna step outside the shoulders and notice that my knees follow the same line as my big toe. Nice wide squats here. Again, primarily just to change the way your muscles are being recruited for you. So we're just gonna use things a little differently than if our feet were together in a nutshell. So here's my view from the side. You'll notice I'll probably get a touch lower in the wide squat, and that's fine, and that's why we're doing a variety today. Drop those hips while keeping the shoulders back and the chest open. Awesome work. Up next, we're gonna have a little fun, and we're actually gonna use the ball for some agility. So here I'm just gonna tap the ball as I drive my opposing arm. So if my right foot's tapping, my left arm's up. So get the feel of that. Notice that I'm driving my eyes up from my eye socket to my hip pocket. And here I'm gonna pick the tempo up a little bit. So pull the elbows back, Focus on not swinging across your body. That wastes energy. I'm going to pick the tempo up here. Join me if you're ready for it. If you're not ready for a high impact, keep it low impact. If you want to go around the ball there, I'm just going to do a quick around the world and rest. If you had fun with that, press pause here and do it a few more times. I just wanted to have a little fun with you guys and get your heart rate up briefly. All right, we're headed right back into narrow squats. This is your last time doing narrow squats, I promise. So feet together, let the heart rate simmer down after that quick agility set. Sorry for the shaky camera there. Well done training the quads and the glutes. We did narrow squats, we did narrow to wide squats, and now we're gonna do a set of narrow squats into regular squats. So finish squats here, now the feet go shoulder width apart, and right into traditional squats. Well done. We are gonna incorporate those wide squats we just did after this, so you're really getting the full gamut of squat differences today, so well done. To really get some endurance in those quads and glutes. Excellent job. Okay, here we go into wide squats. So now feet outside the shoulders. You've done these before today. Toes out. Hang in there. Push through some of the fatigue you're going to be experiencing with all this endurance work, with all of these squats. Let's build those legs. Well done. And rest. Great job. I promise no more squats for today. Set the ball to the side and let's take it to the mat. We're going to do another variety of bridges, as I mentioned earlier. So place the right heel a little bit away from your glutes, straighten the left leg, and drive your hips. Once you're there, you're going to give me ankle extensions. So if you can see there, I'm just doing little imaginary calf raises. And I'm trying to get as much flexion and then extension from the ankle as I can. So flex your foot and point it as much as you can. Working, working, working. Rest. Switch legs. Now you're on the left heel. Press up, point and flex, point and flex. Keep those hips up. Nice rigid core here. This exercise trains a lot of things, primarily stability, ankle mobility, single leg stability, core, hamstrings, glutes. Love this exercise. Hang in there, keep pointing and flexing, and rest. We're gonna go right into a set of lying hip rotations, so keep the shoulders on the ground. Spread the feet apart, and it's the same movement that we did before, but now we're laying down. Same as those seated hip rotations. And as you saw me move my feet in and out, you wanna adjust your feet so you can get a good movement. So if it feels like you can't do this, try just moving your heels away from your butt. This should feel great on the low back and the hips. Great job. Okay, now we're gonna cross one leg over the other, like so, and drive the hips. This is a nice stretch on the hips, great for the piriformis. This is called a piriformis bridge. Big press, relax. Exhale, inhale. Doing a great job. I know it's a lot of bridges, but we gotta kind of stretch those hip flexors out after all those squats. Great job. Switch legs and press the hips up. Working the core and glutes while we lengthen those hip flexors, those chronically tight hip flexors. Nice even breathing here as we're getting close to the end here. We've got less than 5 minutes to go. Well done. Rest here. Next, we're going to do some scorpions. So raise one leg straight up and let that leg fall directly to the side, aiming for about 90 degrees from the hip. This is great for the middle of your back, your thoracic spine, an area we want to keep a lot of mobility through, especially if there's someone who rides a bike or sits at a desk a lot. Lift the leg, let it fall to the side. Good stretches here. Well done. Awesome job. All right, come on up. Get onto all fours. We're gonna do one of my favorite exercises next, the bird dog. So what you're gonna do is extend your right arm or left arm and then the opposite leg. And there I'm just touching my elbow to my knee in the middle. Here's a great exercise, a great core exercise that involves lengthening the hip flexors, stretching them out, getting long through the glutes, through the hamstrings, separating the fingertips from the toes. Switch sides. Again, knee to elbow. Big stretch, then close. Across the midline, a great rotary core exercise. Again, one of my favorite movements. I use this often as a movement screen to see how stable people's core are. So, if you're losing your balance a lot, switch sides. Let's try it again. Slow the movement down if you need to. But remember, if you're struggling with your balance here, this is a movement you can do frequently to increase your core stability. Stretch and contract. Extend, contract. Well done. Okay, switch sides for the last time. If you feel like this is a rapid switching, I did want to kind of hammer your core here in a functional set, so you can press pause and hit 2 sets of 10 per side. That's just what we've done right here, so keep tracking with me if you're on pace. Well done. I know that was a lot in a row, but we're going to stretch now. Down dog, and we're going to pedal the feet, focusing on one calf at a time, giving our low back and our lats a nice stretch at the same time. Time to slow things down a little bit now that we've had a great session together. I appreciate your hard work and your focus. Deep breath in and exhale. I love this kind of inverted position you're in. You can really imagine the stress melting from your hips, out your back, through your hands, and just into the floor. Slowly start to walk the toes in until you're in a hamstring or forward bend stretch. Okay, if you can't reach to the ground yet, or if you needed to, bend the knees to stand up, totally fine. Well done, you guys. You did a great job. Thank you so much for joining me on our legs and core workout. Glad you could get it in under 30 minutes. Feel free to hit subscribe if you like what you see. You'll get notifications on all my new videos. And visit kawokacoaching.com for blogs, recipes, and more. Have a great day.